let's start.
So, for today's session, let us talk about this poem, An Evening Wet with Rain. The poem deals with what? The poem deals with the existentialism. The poem deals with the nostalgia. As well as you can say that the poem, there is lot of dejection in the poem. If you see the text, if you go deep down into the text, there will be only one thing, there is only one thing, and that is dejection. The poet is feeling dejected because there is hopelessness, and at the same time he is talking about the sense of belongingness, and there is existentialism. So we can say that there is lot of dejection in this poem. There is lot of dejection in this poem because there is hopelessness, as the poet, he is not able to see his destination. He is not, the destination is to be very obscure. He is not knowing anything, and that's why the evening of his life is turned to be black. The evening of his life is turned to be very dark. In this poem, he is also talking about his heydays. He is also talking about his childhood. The time period when he was very happy, when he used to listen the sound of the bell, the sound of the church bell in his country yard. That was very special moment for him. But now in his adulthood, he is feeling to be very dejected. That is why we can say that this poem is about the existentialism, because he is not able to find the meaning of his life. He is not able to find out the meaning of his life. The nostalgia in the poem is about his childhood. He is recalling the days of his childhood, but now in his present state, it is to be very different, it is to be very dejected. It is all because of the hopelessness in his life. As we earlier told that the poem, is also about the sense of belongingness. He is not able to connect himself anywhere. He seems that his life is not connected to anything. He says that he feels that he is to be, he is feeling alienation in life. Alienation means he is totally alone. He is totally alone. There is nobody, accompanying him. There is a sort of turbulence in his mind. There is a sort of turbulence in his emotion. You can say that his thought as well as his emotion, there is a sort of imbalance. And maybe this modernity is responsible for all this dejection, for all this turbulence, this modern state, this, you can say, his, adulthood. He wants his life to be soothing, but now this is not possible for him. He is not able to, find anything soothing in his life. He is not able to find peace in his life. There is a lot of regret in poet's life. He is telling us about this. There is a lot of regret in poet's life because he cannot, go back into his childhood, which was very, very, very wonderful for him. And now the life which he is living is very difficult for him. If we talk about his childhood, that was the unprejudiced time, that was the unprejudiced state. But now in his adulthood, he is feeling people to be, very emotionless. He is feeling the prejudice in his adulthood. But in his childhood, there was no such thing. It was, very blithesome period. But the present state is very different. The poet is, we can say that the feeling, the morbidity, he is very uncertain about his future. He is not knowing anything, where to go. He is totally, uncertain about all this. He seems that his life is obliterated. He seems, he's feeling that his life is obliterated. It is destroyed. That is why he is so uncertain about so many things. We can say that the poet is feeling physically haggard. We can say that the poet is feeling mentally haggard. He is feeling to be, what he is experiencing. He is experiencing the weariness in his life. Actually, he is talking about an evening in his life. He is talking about evening. And look at what this evening symbolizes. This evening symbolizes the darkness here. This this evening symbolizes the hopelessness here. This evening symbolizes a rejection here. And there is rain, and this rain symbolizes the tear of the poet. The rain in the title, the rain in the very title, this rain is not only rain, but this rain also symbolizes the tear. This symbolizes the rupture of his feeling, because he is not satisfied with his present condition, because his present condition, he is feeling to be dilapidated, he is feeling to be obliterated, he is feeling to be annihilated. He is feeling to be annihilated because so many things are there which are unfulfilled. That is why he is feeling the great vacuum in his life. He is feeling the great voidness in his life, like there is nothing left to do in his life. So that is why he is questioning himself. He is questioning himself. That is why we can say that the poem deals with the existentialism, because he is not aware about his purpose in life. What is the purpose in life? That is very, that is obscure. He is not able to understand what he is doing. And that is why we can say that there is sense of belongingness in the poem. From where I belong, what is mine? He is not, clear about these things. It is totally to be dark there. So that is, in this context we can say that the poem also deals with the theme of uncertainty. There is uncertainty in his life. And there is one thing the poet is badly, what he regrets, that where is my childhood? Because that childhood period, that was the unprejudiced period, that was, the period of such a, you can say, soothing feelings. It was the period of soothing feeling. But now in his adulthood, things are changed, life is changed, purpose is, purpose is in darkness. Things are in darkness. He is not aware about his destination. So all the images in this poem, if you see that there is mentioning of darkness, there is mentioning of evening, there is mentioning of rain, there is mentioning of cloud, there is mentioning of this outcast. All these images of the nature, tells us about what? Tells us about the dejection of the poet. That the poet is not happy. He is not happy. What he is feeling to be tortured. It is a sort of depression in his life. It is sort of anxiety in his life. What he is feeling anxiety in his life. He is feeling depression in his life. And maybe the poet is indirectly telling us about that in modernity, in modern era, in this modern period, people are subject to these things. The people are subject to alienation. People are subject to anxiety, and people are subject to you can say dejection. There are so many elements in this modernity which makes the human to feel existential crisis. There are existential crisis. ये परेशानियां इंसान के अंदर है, ठीक है. And in modern time these things are very bound to happen, and that is why the poet is telling us about his one evening. He is talking about a particular evening in his life, and that evening is not soothing evening, and that evening is not blithesome evening, that is not cheerful evening, that is very dejected. There is you can say atmosphere of dejection in the poem. The poet is not satisfied with his life. He is not satisfied with the way he is trying to live his life, because there is no there is no clear visible destination in his life, and all these things these things are internally torturing the poet. He is internally feeling the rupture, because he has lost the meaning of life, because he has lost all his hopes in his life. So we can say that the poem deals with the theme of hopelessness also. But the main and burning theme, if we talk about the burning issue in this poem, that is the existentialism. This is one of the burning theme in the poem. Existentialism, because he is asking to himself, he is questioning to himself that what is my purpose? What is my purpose in life? How I am living life? This is all nonsense. I am not able to understand, because there is no, you can say, the happiness in his life. All the happiness in his life is lost. So this is all about the poem. कोई और बोलेगा?